Hello, and welcome to the Tap Into It podcast, where each week I have the sincere pleasure of welcoming a wellness professional operating in their area of genius. This week is no different. I'm here with Patricia Beyer, and she is a gem in our community. Patricia and I are working together under Reiki Center of Colorado Springs, and in her own right is such a gifted spiritual
Thank
healer.
you.
Thank
Hello,
you.
everybody.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I'm excited to get you featured and for folks to know about all of the wonderful things that you're able to do in this community for others. So let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
All right. Patricia, how long have you been a resident of Colorado?
I moved here around 4 years ago. My son was in the Air Force and he was a professor at the academy. I have 4 children and we all coming here. So then my daughter came and then my youngest son. And so I said, well, let's join the train and move to beautiful Colorado.
And I'm so glad you did. And when you came here, you were taking care of family, but you've obviously had these gifts of being an open channel and also a Holy Fire Reiki master in your own right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gifts that you have.
I don't like using labels.
Sure.
I am certified in Uzuzi, Reiki, and also Holy Fire too. I'm a channel, medium. I just am what I am, and I really don't like pinpointing it to one thing.
I can appreciate that sincerely because when we label it, we put ourselves in a box and say, all right, well, these are the only tools that we have, and that's just not how spirit works anyway.
No,
Yeah.
it does not.
And so right now you're offering Reiki sessions, but outside of that, intuitive guidance.
Yes, intuitive guidance, mentorship, all kinds of fun stuff that we seem to need in the moment that we are in this space. Just keep it light.
I totally agree. So many folks need the support and can't even pinpoint the one thing that they're coming to you and asking for. So
Right.
Before we dive into what client sessions might look like, let's talk a little bit about when you realized that you were a channel and how did that come into your awareness?
Well, growing up, my siblings are 10 years older than I am, so in all reality, I was the only child, didn't know anything about anything other than I was always alone. Wasn't all a part of big groups of friends, school. I just went to school and did my thing. But it wasn't until many, many years later that going through a divorce after being married for 30 years, somebody walked into my life and woke me up, I guess, to all of this. Wow. And sent me spiraling because I didn't know what was happening to me. And I went to a Reiki share, and that's where it all began.
Wow, that's incredible. Can you tell us a little bit about what you experienced at the Reiki share?
I received some answers, right? I suppose better than answers, clarification to what was going on with me. And knowing I wasn't alone, that other people were experiencing this as well. And so I just kept going back to the Reiki shares because, number one, I felt better. Physically, emotionally, mentally, I found a community that I could be free. I could speak what I was feeling, and it just really helped me out. And I kept going back and then went to the training, and, well, that's where it all started.
Wow, that's incredible. Mm-hmm. It is so important, as you and I have shared privately, but for the folks out there, for us to be in community mm-hmm. and to be willing to connect with like-minded others in order to have that validation that you're talking about.
Right.
Otherwise, I like to joke with my friends that, is it psychic? Is it psychosis?
Exactly. Do I belong in a wall, padded wall? Yeah, probably sometimes.
Agreed, because we don't have language, which is the trickiest part about
mm-hmm.
all of this, for the experiential aspect of being a channel, of being able to discern on behalf of others. Would you agree?
I do agree. And unlike some, I didn't have a slow pace of childhood and leaning into this. It just all happened
Yeah.
overnight. And so that really made it very challenging and difficult.
I bet. And I bet for your kiddos as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of their age and the fact that they're adults now, it would be a new type of mom.
Definitely a new type of mom. And my children were teenage-ish. And so it was, oh, mom's going off the deep end. Mom's
Yes.
tapping into the wild side. So I definitely got some comments, but they all were always right there by my side.
Oh, that's great. So they were supportive.
Yes, they were
weren't
supportive.
Like, let's take you to the padded road. No.
Well, maybe I'm sure at times there was. Especially my youngest. He's 23 now, but definitely mom's a witch.
Oh.
You know, some
Yeah.
topics like that. A hippie.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
my son, this week he gave me the ultimate reality check. There was a gal who came and approached me to introduce herself, and she was like, I heard that you're another hippie mom. And my son was seated in between us, and she said, is your mom a hippie? And he said, hillbilly.
I like that better.
I'm like, Marcus, let's talk about the definition of that later. Yes, I
Yeah.
grew up in Southern Illinois, but come on, bro, don't call me out so hard. But it's funny because, yeah, there's versions of us that we haven't been able to see ourselves. And having others highlight, hey, this is what I've been experiencing, and I
Yeah.
see that in you too, can just really be that grounding mechanism of, okay, I'm not crazy, but then what do you do with that,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
And so for you, it was Reiki shares that led you into the experiential aspect of it. But what outside of that did you go into to harness an individual practice, if you will?
I think it took many years. It was like I was experimenting in everything. And it's probably the last 5 years that I just really embraced that it's all one, whatever way we look at it and put the label on it. And so I left corporate world when I came here to Colorado and fully embraced who I was, who I am, who I will be, and want to give that back to the community.
Oh, that is beautiful, Patricia. Allowing others to feel safe in their authenticity is such a gift. There's that saying that be yourself, everyone else is taken.
Yeah.
And I myself, just to share vulnerably, am still embracing putting all of the masks down because we don't even know when we're doing it sometimes, do we?
No. And that comfort of that mask, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so each day it's, hey, I'm here working through it too. And we always will be.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The more you know, the less you know
Yep,
is another
exactly.
saying. Yes. And so for folks who have never had an intuitive guided session, because I want to go there, let's say that somebody has booked with you, they come into your space, they settle in, what can they expect?
The unexpected.
The unexpected? For you
Yes.
too, would you
Yes.
say?
For
Yeah.
you, absolutely. I never know. I don't have a plan. I don't have a rhythm. I may utilize tools. I may not. I never know until it's happening. Sometimes I do get some insight the night before or when somebody schedules. And so I might have a little bit of insight, but I try to let it to be as organically as possible,
Yeah.
right? Don't test what I'm going to say and just allow the messages to come, whatever needs to come in that moment.
That's beautiful. I don't think there's a way to prepare, right?
No.
Try
Even
as
if
we
we
might.
do, Spirit has another way of showing us.
I agree. And the preparation aspect for client sessions looks a little different for folks. So you shared that sometimes you might get a download the night before, which would be the spirit's way of conveying into your awareness that, hey, here's a little tidbit of something that can help you, right?
Right.
Do you also have a meditation practice or spiritual hygiene practice that you do before sessions?
Absolutely. Before, after, during.
Oh, wonderful.
But I feel that it's very important to leave our stuff at the door,
Yes.
making sure that we're cleared and balanced. depending on the room I'm in, making sure that is cleansed and cleared before utilizing it, having some crystals, some sage available if needed. But I honestly believe just setting the intention that it is a clean, safe space for people to come.
I love that. It's very important what you said about leaving our stuff at the door and also our ego. I
Yes.
think that the hardest thing in this work, especially in Colorado Springs, where I would say that the market is a bit saturated,
Right.
which is a blessing and a curse because we need folks like you that are doing this great work, and also because there's so much noise and available channels open, that discernment is key. And I think leaving our stuff at the door is equally as important as leaving our ego
Yes.
at the door.
Absolutely. Human in us, we want to have a tendency to want to fix people, or it's my way or the highway. And that is not what this is about at all. It's about us giving you the tools to go within and finding some of those answers for yourself.
I agree.
Right? And
Yes.
so I do honestly believe whatever is said is meant to be said, but it's not my guidance, and I'm not guiding the session.
That is such an important piece right there, what you just said. I always tell folks when I'm conducting a client session, I'm the conduit. I'm the water hose. And if I had another take on it, I shouldn't be doing this type of work.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not us.
It's not us.
No.
We're just the willing participant in community, willing to convey to you what you're not able to hear for yourself.
Right.
And I don't think that it matters, and please stop me if you disagree. I don't think it matters the level, if you will, of the channel. Each of us have to rely on our trusted community partners to help spirit convey messages for us.
Yes. I'm not good at getting my own messages, right?
No.
So I go to my partners in community because sometimes I allow or can allow my ego to get in the way of those messages. So absolutely. And the people closest to me, right? There's too much involved. I have too much in stake with my children,
Right.
or my close friends. So I have to step away from that as well.
It comes down to ethics,
Yeah.
right? And it's the same for doctors in our community who ethically shouldn't be treating their family members
Right.
and their closest loved ones because they're too close to it and there's emotions involved,
Mhm.
rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I think that it is an interesting game in trusting others in our community and being vulnerable in relationship and in community to allow them to discern on our behalf.
Yes, I agree. I don't have all the answers.
No, none of us do. And it's so important for folks to hear that from us because it's that humility that makes us the most clear, in my opinion, channel that we can be on behalf
Exactly.
of others. Oh, I love that. And so, as you shared, you're trained in Asui and also Holy Fire. And for folks who don't know, I do not have the Holy Fire lineage in my toolbox, which is why I'm so excited to partner with you at Reiki Center. But could you tell us, for folks who don't know, what the differences are? I know we've talked about it personally, and I really appreciated your take on it.
Well, thank you. To me personally, I feel it's very similar. I think it's what you're drawn to,
Yes.
right? We're opening a channel to whatever that energy may look like, whether it is the Uzui or the Holy Fire too. The symbols are very similar, if not the same. The practices is very similar. It's the way that we get ignited is a little bit different. In the traditional Uzui, the teacher, the practitioner, is actually hands-on and placing the symbols and the activations within the client, the student. To where Holy Fire, we allow that energy to do that. So there's no in between, right? It's a pure source. And so I think it's just interesting. It feels much, I don't want to say, there's nothing right or wrong. It's what you're drawn to.
Yes. And I
Right?
agree. I think that, especially Reiki practitioners, we have that discernment of this is where I'm called, and so this is the way that I'll practice. And then after some time, and I know that you shared it was 4 years ago that you came here and really started diving into this work, but I don't even know if it's fair to call it Reiki anymore after a
Thank
while.
you. Thank you. And I was like hesitating if I should go there,
I had to
but
go there, girl, yeah.
I just feel it's an energy. And however you open yourself up to that energy, whatever label you use or whatever tool you use, it's all the same purpose, right? To open ourselves up to what's out there, what's next. And we have to be careful because it can be about the ego
Absolutely.
if you allow it to be, right? I'm not better than you if I don't, and vice versa. And
Right.
it's just opening up to the energy and allowing it to flow through us.
Intention.
Yes, intention,
Yes.
purity.
Purity. And I would say that is an exercise, especially for students who are new to Reiki and those that are starting to practice. Let's talk a little bit about imposter syndrome, right? Because it's something that not only did I experience as I was growing up in Reiki, but it's something that I notice students experience oftentimes from that jump between Reiki 1 training and Reiki 2. Would you
Right.
agree?
I would definitely agree. And again, it's like where we have to check ourselves,
Yes. We have
right?
to check ourselves consistently of, all right, this isn't about me.
Mm-mm.
All right, my little ego, let
Yeah,
me
be
just
quiet.
go to sleep.
Yeah.
Not
And-
so easy though sometimes.
It's not. And we have to understand that we're doing work for a bigger purpose and it's not about us to begin with.
I agree. I think that for those who are new to Reiki, one of the best clients I've ever had is my own dog.
Right?
Because
No
there's
ego.
no ego involved. And I love that they can be asleep and you can start working on them and then they'll sit up and be like, what are you doing? And there's that validation for you all in and of itself, right?
That
I-
it's true.
It's true.
And I think for a lot of us, we allow the mind to get in the way,
Yes.
right? I tell my students, throw away the rule books,
Yeah.
right? Yes, it gets us to where we need to be, but at that point, drop into your intuition and don't focus so much on it. Am I doing this right? Is it working? Those are the things that can block us.
I agree. Having a desired outcome
Right.
is not helpful for anyone that is going to be on your table. And what my teacher was such a gem. I think that we all really have an affinity for our teachers.
Yes.
We can't help it. And she would consistently say that there were times that she would be conducting a session and she would just have a feeling like, oh, this didn't go the way I thought it would go, or I feel like it wasn't as powerful this time. And it was always those sessions that people would sit up and have
The best experience.
just the most outrageous experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I do honestly believe Reiki has its own mind, right?
Yeah.
It's going to go where it needs to go. It's going to do what it needs to do, no matter what we think or feel.
Agreed. That's one thing I really like about Reiki. It was described to me by my teacher, Susan Kyoki, out of Boulder, Colorado, that Reiki's vibration from a frequency is so high that even somebody having the worst day and could not use it intentionally for harm,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, and I agree. I think that intention is so important, and I would hope that nobody would have.
Ill intentions, right?
Agreed. Yeah, and even if they do, there's
It's
nothing
going to
that can
do what it needs to
It's gonna do
do.
what it needs to do.
Absolutely. And what the client is ready for.
Yes.
So it's not going to overdo it or throw you off. You will receive exactly what you're meant to.
I agree. And let's talk a little bit about sessions because for folks who don't know, they don't have to always be conducted flat on a massage table, right?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. It does enhance the relaxation,
Agreed.
but some people I have just as well outcomes from a remote session if somebody's in their own space and feel even more comfortable than coming to somebody else's space.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's happening when I'm not even aware of it. If we're just sitting here talking, it's, I feel it's not something I turn on and turn off. I just am.
I agree. I feel like sometimes it's like spirit knocking and saying, hey,
Yeah.
you have things to convey now. You're on.
Yep.
And let's talk a little bit about being an open channel
Mm.
and about what we just talked about in terms of being on when you're just maybe not ready for it. I
Right.
remember times when I was flexing this muscle, and one specifically where I got to have a lunch date all to myself, which is a precious thing in motherhood, right?
Yes.
And I'm sitting there eating my Chipotle, and I clearly get this download of, this woman needs you to tell her that she's loved. And I'm like, no, please.
Not here now.
No. So I want folks to understand that we're of service.
Mhm.
Would you agree?
I agree that I'm in service 24/7.
Yes.
On top of just being the open channel, I'm also a reflector in the human design. So 1% of people are reflectors, which mean we're very sensitive, we're open. I'm also Pisces, so literally no turning off from me. I just try to say, okay, Spirit, does this really need it right now?
Do you mean it, mean it?
Yeah, do you mean it, mean it? And then I usually get the cue with the other.
That's wonderful. I think that what dropped into my awareness was somebody who is just coming into these gifts and they're like asking for a sign, and they get a sign and they're like, a signier sign, please, the bigger sign. And sometimes it's those subtleties that drop into our awareness that we're being asked to quiet and notice.
Yeah, and notice and listen. And sometimes when we don't, then we get bigger signs, right?
Oh, my
Slaps.
goodness.
And
Submitted even. Yeah.
I've come to a space that I just am. And sometimes I'll ask for a sign, but then am I seeing the sign because I'm asking for the sign, right? Then going down that rabbit hole.
Yes. Yes. Is this psychosis?
Yeah.
Is this psychic? It is an exercise for sure. And I want people to understand that if you're not flexing that muscle and being intentional with spirit and the downloads, that it is trickier and trickier.
Yes,
Being
it
willing to
does.
flex the muscle is really important.
And keep it up and evolving, right? It doesn't stop. We evolve, we learn, we teach, we go through something in our life that may set us back, and then we start all over.
I appreciate that you point that out because we are not perfect humans, you and I, that are, I would say, managing these gifts.
Right.
Yes.
That's
It
a good
is
word.
a full-time job.
It is.
It is. And if we're not practicing spiritual hygiene, I think that it's like anything else. Signing up for a marathon when you haven't been doing the training isn't wise, just like signing up to help somebody in a client session if you're not taking care of your container isn't wise. And there are ways, such as the ones that you've shared, that we can keep our container clean, but we're not perfect humans.
Right. And
We're
life
having an
happens.
Yes. We're here having an experience, and let's talk about when those gifts might be more silent. Have you experienced that in these 4 years?
I feel that sometimes I've made them silent.
Fair.
When things happen, right? It's like we have to readjust, we have to balance. And I like to remind my clients, my friends, go back to the basics. Going back to the basics of getting out the crystals, making sure we're clearing our space, our physical body, and remembering some of the things that we learned in the beginning.
Yes, back to the basics. I really like that. The fundamentals of the building blocks of these
Exactly.
gifts.
Because we can get caught up in our ego or
Absolutely.
life experience or just kind of out of it, which is okay too. It's okay to just zone out every once in a while.
Yeah, that can look like self-care, can't
Yeah.
it? Just saying, all right, please, I'm on vacation.
Give
for the next
ourselves
2 days.
permission
Yeah.
to do that.
Thank you. That's exactly right. It's the permission that we give ourselves.
Yeah.
And the intentionality. I've also heard stories. I don't know if you've heard of the author Jennifer Weigel.
Mhm.
She's the author of I'm Spiritual, Damn It.
Yeah.
And she's great. She had done a broadcast and shared that there was a medium, a psychic medium, whose gifts were intense and online, and the accuracy was unmatched. And because the ego had taken such a role, the gifts were silenced and taken for a time in order to say, hey, this isn't you. And I'd like folks to understand that there is a relationship that's going on with these gifts, and it all comes back down to that, for me, my relationship to spirit. And am I doing these things for the right reasons? Is this where you still want me? It's a constant check-in.
It is. Are we doing it for the highest good of everybody involved, right? And not what I think is your highest good.
Right.
Right? And we can get caught in that, right? The money part aspect of it. The ego, I'm better than you. I'm telling you what to do. Yeah. None of that is our choice.
It is.
Or shouldn't be, right?
I agree. And it's really tough. I like that you brought up the money aspect, because it's tough in our day and age when we have these gifts to offer the community in support of their own journey, and we're not living in a village that's taking care of us to where we can do this without monetization. But I've learned the hard way that there has to be a reciprocity, whether it's energetic or monetarily, and some folks are more in abundance energetically, and some are more in abundance monetarily. And we have to be willing also to receive so that we can keep
giving. 100%.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I just had a client prior to sitting down here with you, and that was one of his thoughts is, how do I charge money for a gift from God?
Yeah.
Right? And I said, look at it differently. And it's an energy, and we're exchanging that energy, giving and receiving. And we have to be open to receiving. I will say, it just recently in my life, I'm receiving. I was always the giver, the parent, the wife, right? We fall into those traps of just giving, giving, giving until we have nothing left to give. And I told my friend, even yesterday, that right now in this moment in my life, I have the most support from people that I've ever had in my whole life. And it's hard to get used to that.
Oh, it is. It's hard to trust.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. I've been told recently we get hurt in community and we heal in community.
Yeah.
And it isn't unlike any other relationship that's closest to us, right? I don't know about you. I have 3 boys, so my feelings get hurt all the time. And the honesty is real with them. Mom, I wear that today. But I think that being willing to take a chance on community and allow yourself to be supported is beautiful. So thank you for taking a chance. Yeah.
And I feel it's part of the lesson, right? We learn. We don't want to do it that way, or that doesn't resonate with us anymore. So we search out the people who really do resonate and who are on the same idea of what this path looks like.
Agreed. And I think that when we stay intentional and we stay in integrity, we'll know through our own discernment.
We'll feel it.
We'll feel it. So
And
do
it
you
will
feel
keep
it in
coming.
your body?
I physically get to the place where I'm like, oh, I'm not listening.
Yeah. I had this exercise even recently to where I knew that I knew that I knew, but I wanted it to be different, so I wanted to will it to be different, and acceptance is key.
Yeah.
And I don't think that our spirit lies to us. Do you?
No, I feel we don't want to see it at times, but once we're through it, we can look back and see why.
Agreed.
Right?
Yes.
But we don't want to see it sometimes when it's happening.
Goes back to what you said about it being a part of the lesson or the experience. I'm really enjoying our conversation, and for folks at home that are curious about what it is that we're doing together, we've bounced a lot of ideas.
Yes, we have.
Right?
Yes.
Upcoming, we have a Reiki share hosted at Sacred Space Therapeutics. Thank you to Amanda Farrell for your support. Yeah. And coming from different backgrounds in Reiki, it's what you said, right? There is no right or wrong way. There is no one over the other. It's different and complementary, which is what we're recognizing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we have tossed around the idea of not only sharing space in Reiki shares, but also we're tossing around the idea of like, how do we combine these different lineages that are held intentionally during trainings? And you might see upcoming Patricia hosting ones in her own right under Holy Fire, but we're toying around the idea of how to combine those efforts.
I think they will merge beautifully.
I do too. Thank you so much. And what I also hope folks at home know is that there are ways for you to study with Patricia individually and us together in these Reiki shares, but I really hope that those that are local will take advantage of the in-person space that we have here up off of Briargate in Colorado Springs. And let's talk about distance sessions, because we're not just beholden to the physical, right?
No, we're not. There's no time or space, right?
That's right.
I feel they're just as powerful. I think it's important. I've had clients in person and then they moved, and they say it's no different.
Agreed.
Right?
Yes.
It's definitely no different. Some people may feel more comfortable in their own home.
Agreed.
And some may want to get out of their house and come and have a little bit of a spa day, right?
Yeah.
So it's an individual. But I definitely feel there's no difference in between the remote and the in-person sessions.
I agree. And this is just a curious question. For those who are drawn to you specifically for intuitive guidance or training, if someone approached you for, say, psychic development, is that something that you have toyed with in the past?
100%. I know you're putting on a class coming up as well, right?
Yeah.
So I do one-on-one sessions and mentoring, also psychic development, clearing, right? Clearing. I think we need to start there again, back to the basics, right?
Yes.
How do we make sure we're staying safe?
I appreciate that you brought that home, because clearing is huge, and it goes back to set and setting, which you said we can have set and setting in our physical space, and you know how to command that space, if you will. And also we can help others to recognize how to do these things for themselves. Right? And I got juicy in my part.
Yeah.
I got hot. So.
We know it's turned on now.
Yes, we do. I might even leave that in there. I love it.
I think it's important to also recognize that some of us are empaths, some of us are reflectors, and some of us are, water signs. So some of this energy isn't even ours. And we take it on and we own it. And so it's always nice to have that outside source to help us see that, clear it, cleanse it, balance, and then throw us back out in the world. But with the tools, knowing, what to do if you start feeling that overwhelmed, sad. Check in with yourself. Is this my stuff?
Yeah. Especially in the grocery line.
Yes, at Walmart, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. And I've had that awareness drop in of like, all of a sudden I feel frustrated or maybe sad.
Yep.
And I really appreciate what you said there, because this is for anyone,
Yes.
regardless of what you practice currently for yourself. But check in and ask, is this mine? If it isn't, consider the fact that you can take a few deep breaths, recenter yourself, and check in and say,
Go hug a tree.
thank
Right?
you.
Real
Yes.
ground, which there's scientific evidence that does help now.
I do agree. They have things like grounding mats, which I think are great, but I
Yeah.
think that comes back to the monetization of things that we
Exactly.
don't need.
Go back out to nature where it all
Please.
began.
Yes, as I tell my kids, touch grass.
Yes. Roll in it.
Roll in it. I love that. I just pictured rolling down that
Yeah,
hill.
down the hill. Just make sure you don't run into anything that doesn't belong there.
Agreed. Snow can be tricky, folks, so be careful.
Stay away from the yellow snow.
Yes, figuratively and literally.
Yes.
Patricia, this has been such an easy talk.
Oh, good.
So thank you for flowing here with me today. I know that, at least for myself, it's always an exercise in being seen, and I'm just really so grateful that you were up for it, and that folks will get a chance to get to know you in just one other different way for those who are in the online space.
Well, I really appreciate it because I have a tendency to stay unseen. So thank you for allowing me to be here and pulling me out of my little shell. And I truly look forward and am honored to see where this all goes.
Me too, Patricia. Thank you so much for being
Yes,
here.
thank you.
And for folks at home that are listening, I want you to know that you can find how to get in touch with Patricia down below through Reiki Center of COS.org. And I hope that we will see you in the physical or online space real soon.
Awesome.
Patricia,
Thank you.
thank you. Until next time.
Bye.